top levels, they're hard. No way, really? Yeah. Secret coins are secret, and they're a coin. What? So, generally a good secret coin is if it provides you a challenge. It's harder than the regular gameplay. But what about when in a top level? The gameplay is already incredibly difficult, and the verifier is probably already suffering enough, so just adding unnecessarily difficult coins is pointless, especially since many people probably won't go for it anyways. So these coins are a little different from your regular gameplay coins. Out of the top 150, 18 levels have coins in them, and some of them are wild. So, without further ado, let's get started. Starting with... So this first coin is a lot like that one chip in Cataclysm, so far it's like pretty normal. The second coin is a swagger out, so nothing much here. And the third coin is the exact same difficulty pretty much of the regular path. So overall, these three coins aren't much harder, but they're basically like regular coins. Okay, now, and the next level is... So these two coins are at the ending. The way you get them is the exact same, just with different players. So yeah, it's basically a free coin. I think it's a free coin. I haven't actually seen the layout of it, so my bad if I'm mistaken. But yeah, that's pretty much all it. So next level is... Okay, so first off, the first 30% thinking space is much easier, so any coins on there is going to be a bit harder than main path, because that's just a given. The interesting coins are one near the end. Okay, anyways, this first coin, you gotta go up. I think it's a decently typed gap, but at 17% of a very unbalanced level, I think this is good enough. You gotta go up a little bit to snag this coin, and considering it's at 70%, which is one of the hardest parts of the level because of that wave, I think that's pretty nerve-wracking. And the last coin was a result of collecting all the previous keys. So yeah, it's just a regular key coin, nothing special. Okay, now, next level is... Unless they had to trigger something, I'm pretty sure this first coin is completely free. So yeah, free coin. The second coin is the exact same case. It is a free coin, this time later into the level. And this last coin is also free. So yeah, all these coins are completely free, but it is a top 119, so I guess it makes sense. Alright, now we're in the top 100, with our next level being... Okay, this first coin honestly looks easier than the main path. But that could be just me, but look at it. Okay, the second coin is probably also easier. Looks like you have to jump or fall for the regular path, but for this coin you could just hold. So either way. Alright, this last coin actually looks a bit more difficult. You gotta do this spider timing near the very end of the level, whereas you could just fall easily and click. So yeah, pretty good coin. Next on the list is... Alright, the only coin in this level I'm pretty sure is literally unmissable. So yeah, another free coin at the very start as well. So anyways, next level. Okay, this coin is low-key lame. It's gotta dodge those platforms, which looks pretty easy. I haven't played it, but looks. But the alternative is a completely auto section, so that also goes into play. I think I'm starting to see a trend here. Okay, although you can't actually see a coin, I'm pretty sure this is the coin route because you teleport and it's different from the actual gameplay. But yeah, still pretty easy to do. Okay, the second coin is free, as you can all expect. Okay, with that level done, now it's time for the next one. Okay, this coin is mad. You gotta go through this tight gap, and it turns that thing into a hell spam part? Nah, this is what I've been more expecting with a top level coin. And of course this is verified by WizKid, so who was surprised by this? And the second coin is a free coin, just like basically every other Extreme Doom we've done in this video so far. Okay, it's kind of crazy how these there are 4 levels in a row that have coins in them. Okay, anyways, next level is... Alright, a bit underwhelming. All 3 coins at the very end of the last stray fly. You don't need to do anything. All 3 coins are free. Okay, anyways, moving on to the next level is... This coin is actually harder than the main path, and I'm honestly surprised by that. I never knew that we'd actually have a coin like this in the demon list somewhere, especially from number 83 on the demon list as I'm making this video. Okay, anyways, well, now we have... Okay, this coin is a bit strange. You gotta do this random thing to get it. I honestly don't know how to judge this. Okay, that's a strange one. Well, besides that, time for the last level of the extended list being... Okay, these coins are a 2-player team effort. You gotta collect them with each player. I think that's pretty cool. Actually, when I first saw the level, I thought you gotta beat it twice. So, I guess that's not the crazy coin anymore. What a bummer. Alright, finally, now it's time for the main list levels. Starting with... I was honestly expecting at least a Cataclysm coin to stay, but I guess not. This first one requires you to go up and do much harder straight fly than below. So, that's pretty cool. I like it. And the second coin, you gotta do the iconic jump over the GG. So, I like the callback. I really like the callback. Okay, now, the top 5 hardest level with the coin is... Okay, you literally cannot avoid this first coin. The second coin requires a singular jump, so both are basically free. So the number 4 hardest level with coins is... Okay, this coin confuses me a little bit. First off, I don't know if the key is actually free, and second off, I think the other path is harder, actually. And then the second coin, I like how they use the actual secret coin texture. It's a cool callback, but it's in the wrong spot. Besides that, I don't think it's much harder, just a few extra clicks, and that's all. And that third coin has some crazy straight fly, harder than the bottom part. So, yeah, I'd say decent coin, especially since at the end it's pretty nerve-wracking, if I'm being honest. Okay, and now, on the number 3 spot for the hardest level with coins is... This first coin requires some crazy spam, but the alternate is a frame perfect timing, so I genuinely don't know which one's harder. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure the second coin is slightly harder than the first. Slightly harder than the main path, because like you see, you gotta do some extra clicks just to go into a tight gap again, so I'll give Oddbod this one. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This last coin is only harder just because the alternate is very easy. Even I can do that. So, yeah, this coin only gets passed just because everything else is easy. Okay, now, before we move on to the last 2 levels, let's go over some trends I noticed. Okay, so, a lot of free coins. That's what I'm noticing on these levels. Which makes sense because, again, I don't think many people actually going for level wants to get coins that are much harder than the main path. There's also coins that are harder than the main path only because the main path is much easier than normal. Like at the very end of a level where, you know, maybe the level is easier or slower. Just like in actual Wave Trials and Critical Heat. And then there's also coins that are harder than the main path, but are tailored to the Verifier's skill set. I mean, there's only one example of this, which is WizKid, but it still stands. I feel like this would be a trend among other extreme demons, or any harder levels in general. And I think that's my analysis so far. And now let's move on to... Okay, this last coin is mostly free. You just have to do a jump. But imagine this is nerve-wracking because Summoning Vortex is a top 10, and I imagine you could probably jump earlier than that and actually hit a saw or something. So, yeah, I'd say this is decent. And now, for the hardest level with secret coins, it was something I didn't even know had secret coins until I made this video. It is... The coins are free, all 3 of them. They're all placed on top of each other on the very last part of the level where you fall into the thing. So, yep, that concludes all 18 levels that have coins in them. Okay, now that we've analyzed everything, it's time to see some trends and comparisons. Okay, so the biggest one, obviously, is free coins. Almost all of the levels have a free coin in them. A lot of them do. And this makes sense because, you know, Again, nobody wants to get a coin in an already very difficult level. It's probably even more difficult, especially for the verifier. So yeah, overall, definitely much more free coins than you'd see in like an 8-star or a 7-star or a 6-star or 5-star or something like that. Another thing I noticed, if a coin is actually harder than the main path, it's usually because the main path is easier than normal. For example, in Thinking Space, the coin path, the first coin, is a bit harder than the main path, but that's only because the beginning of the level is much easier than the end. And it's also true for Asteroid Wave Trials. At the last coin, it gets really easy, except for the coin, which is like three very hard clicks at the end. And for Critical Heat, where you do a jump in an otherwise auto section. So yeah, that's another trend. And another thing I see, if a coin is actually harder than the main path, and the main path is actually hard, like the rest of the level, the challenge is often very, very short. For example, in Natural Disaster, the coin path is like 0.5 seconds long, but it is harder than the main path, and the main path is a little bit hard. Another example, a better example, is Silent Locked, where the last coin is a very, very brief straight fly, but the straight fly is harder than the regular straight fly by like a couple pixels, but still harder. And for the dual levels, I mean, there's 2 of them, so it can't be not a coincidence, but it could be. But at the end of the level, there are 2 coins, which requires 1 player each to collect. This connection's a bit weird, but I think it applies. And the last thing I noticed, which, I mean, it's not really a trend at all, is there only 1 coin in it, but I feel like it could be common in other Extreme Demon levels, or any hard levels in general, is the use of secret coins that are tailored to the person's skill set. For example, in Checked Steam, it was verified by WizKid, who is a great spammer. So of course the only coin in the level is a WizKid mode, which replaces a regular wave with a mini wave spam. And this is also common in many levels with a coin that is incredibly hard. For example, in iPhone Redux, the coin is a very hard wave challenge. This is a complete projection, but I think, it's wave carried player, so it's easier. It's also verified by Dag's girlfriend with straight fly throughout the entire level. I feel like I'm just rambling on about something. I feel like I'm on something right now. But if you see it, you see it. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just wanted to analyze everything. I'd say the results are not too surprising, but they're also pretty interesting. So we'll see you next time.